It started as a joke, a careless, stupid little joke I didn't even think twice about. We were curled up on the couch, half watching some Netflix series. The kind of comfort routine that had become our norm. He teased me, something harmless, about how I always forget to put the cap back on the toothpaste. I rolled my eyes, left, and tossed out a line I thought was funny. Well, maybe I'll just leave you, then no more toothpaste arguments. I chuckled, expecting him to do the same. But he didn't. His face went blank, just for a second. But it was enough. Then he looked away and barely spoke for the rest of the night. I figured he was tired, maybe overthinking something, maybe just having one of those moods. I didn't push. I thought it was nothing. After all, we'd joked like that before, hadn't we? But this time, something felt different. His silence wasn't the playful kind, it was thick, distant. When we finally went to bed, he turned his back to me. He rarely ever did that. The next morning, he was already up, dressed, sipping coffee in silence like a man preparing for a storm. I kissed his cheek. He didn't smile. You okay? I asked. He nodded without looking at me. We'll talk later, he said as he left. I shrugged it off again, still blind, still foolish. I had no idea how serious that talk would be. That night, he didn't come home. I called straight to voicemail. I texted, no reply. An ache began to spread in my chest. We never went a day without speaking, not even in our worst moments. Even angry, we always touched base. I tried to tell myself he was just cooling off, maybe at a friend's place, needing space. But deep down, something twisted inside me, something cold and heavy. I knew. The next day, I found an envelope taped to the front door. Inside, there was a letter, a real letter, handwritten. His handwriting. He wrote that my joke, the one I thought was harmless, had hurt him more than I could ever understand. He said he'd been holding on to the relationship by a thread, hoping things would improve, hoping for a sign that I still cared. But instead, I made him feel like he didn't matter, like if he left, I wouldn't even notice. He told me he still loved me, but he didn't feel loved anymore. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, with that letter shaking in my hands. I cried until I couldn't breathe. I couldn't believe he took it seriously, or maybe I could. And that was what broke me. I replayed every moment from the past few weeks. How I'd brush him off. How often I'd been distracted, cold, dismissive, selfish. I saw the signs, all of them now, that it was too late. That joke had just been the final cut. I tried to reach him, texts, voicemails, emails. God, I hadn't emailed him since college. Days passed, then weeks, nothing. His social media went silent. Friends hadn't heard from him either. He was gone, not just gone from my life, gone from everywhere. I was trapped in a kind of quiet hell, the kind where you don't know if the person you love is okay. Oh, or they just don't want you anymore. I started therapy, told myself I needed to heal, needed to understand, and to help slowly. But no matter how much progress I made, I always came back to that moment, that joke. It wasn't about the words, it was what they revealed. I had taken him for granted. He was probably hanging on by a thread, praying for a moment, just one to feel seen, valued. And instead, I mocked leaving him, like it was nothing. Then, months later, late at night, I got a message from an unknown number. It was him, just one line. I hope you're doing okay. I cried full body, breathless. I didn't know what to do. Should I reply? Should I leave it? Part of me wanted to say everything. The other part was paralyzed by fear. What if it wasn't an opening, just a goodbye? I waited a full day before I responded. Just one message. I miss you. I'm sorry. We exchanged a few more texts over the next week. They were polite, a little distant. His guard was up. He told me he'd moved to another city, working on himself. He didn't say if he was seeing anyone. He didn't ask if I was. I wanted so badly to ask him if there was still a chance. But the fear of hearing no was stronger than my courage. Eventually, The messages faded out not abruptly, just slowly slipped into silence again. I took that as my answer, and in some way, I understood I had broken something between us, something delicate and rare. I made him feel disposable, like he was just background noise to my sarcasm. And once broken, trust doesn't beg to come back. It's been nearly a year now. I think about him every single day. I've dated, tried to move on, but no one feels like home the way he did. Maybe that's what I deserve. Maybe that's a quiet punishment, waking up each day with the knowledge that I had something beautiful and I pushed it away with a careless joke. I wish I could go back, say something different, something kind. I wish I had wrapped my arms around him tighter that night instead of laughing. But life doesn't give us rewinds, only consequences, only lessons. And this one came at a cost I never saw coming. Now, I don't joke about leaving the people I love. I don't toss around threats for laughs or test the strength of someone's heart just to feel noticed. Because love isn't a game. It isn't a test. It's a fragile, precious thing you protect every single day.